Craig Cameron, gloves red, here with Boris Crighton. Boris, how are you getting on?
Good, mate, good.
I've seen you've been punching Craig about the ring for about the best part of half an hour there.
If I tell you that I wasn't hurting, he was hurting. Okay, that's a heavy body bag that he's got on as well. He's trying to make it off. I said, man, it's a light one, but no, it's a heavy body bag.
So how's preparations going for the 17th of August?
Things are good. Things are good. The only problem is that we've not been able to find the sparring that we need. So we've been able to get a few boys together towards the end of the camp, but starting off, it was a bit hard to sort of get good quality sparring, heavier boys, and try and get the rounds in as well. Someone that can take a punch as well as give it back. So that's been the only real problem. Apart from everything else, I'm always in shape. You know, I'm always in the gym, so that's never been the problem in terms of fitness, stamina. We've always had that. The only thing is, it's different being running fit and being fighting fit. And what we're trying to do now is just make sure we are fighting fit. And well, it's too late not to be now, but just kind of refine that sharpness, the speed. You know, go and try and now take that into the ring. Yeah. And you can only do that with sparring.
And I believe you're a personal trainer, and
yeah, so, over at JD Gyms.
Yeah, so how does that make, you know, being fit and active all the time so much easier that you're training all the time?
I think it not even just with that, because I mean, not every personal trainer is in fantastic shape, but it's applying the knowledge that I have and being consistent with what I do. I think it's just consistency is all I have. Apart from that, and obviously with the personal training, it gives me a certain knowledge that other people might not have, but outside of that little bit of extra knowledge that I have is the consistency that I apply in terms of what I eat and what I do outside of fight time. You know, so that's the consistency that way. I don't let my running drop or my gym sessions drop drastically after I've gone and had a fight. You take a couple number of days off as natural as you should, rest your body and then go again. But apart from that, we're back in some little light work here and there, staying active, just to keeping yourself close to that weight, because losing the weight is horrible. And that's the worst part about the sport, is losing the weight. Yeah. You know, and trying to lose the weight while trying to be a high performance athlete, it's contradictory a little bit. So to try and perform at a higher level, the higher you go up, the more you have to manage is the better, you know.
Yeah. And surely as a pro, the start to your career couldn't have been any better.
No, absolutely, absolutely. It's gone. I mean, there's a couple of hiccups there with some fights not coming through and the shows being cancelled and stuff like that. But it's not been the worst. It's not been the worst. I think if everything had gone through, I'd be at 6 fights at the moment, going into my 7th fight, and that would be less than, you know, 12 months. So that would have been really good, and that's what I would have liked. But at the same time, the process in which I am at the moment is still a decent pace, and I can't complain about that 5th fight coming up. Yeah. With a decent opponent, someone with a decent name behind him, which is going to be exciting, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And what was the main reason for you moving? Was it Aberdeen you lived in and moved into Glasgow? Was it sheerly just for the training? And
yeah, basically that this was made for. There's limited amount of sparring in Scotland, let alone up north. So Glasgow's the epicenter of boxing, and it made sense to make that decision to come down. And amateur-wise, it was just a matter of fact of not upsetting that balance that I had with my amateur trainers. And after that transition, when I was about to transition to the pros, that relationship came to a natural end, where they were happy for me to move on and go and do what I needed to do in the pro game. And I needed to make the solid decisions where it's like, I can stay at home and be comfortable, but that doesn't go and win you titles. Being comfortable doesn't win you titles. Going out of your comfort zone, stepping into the lion's den and showing people down there that, hey, you know what, I've got what it takes to make it. Then people see it, because they see you in the gym putting in that work, they see you in the gym doing the sparring. So then people start to notice and people start to talk. So that also was the incentive to go, you know what, hey, we need to make a decision, we need to move down. And plus I needed a pro coach. And I needed someone that was going to suit my style. Unfortunately, McCastles don't have the style training wise that I needed for my career, which is why I needed to venture outside of Aberdeen as well.
Yeah, and of course there was disappointment when you were meant to be fighting in Aberdeen and the card get pulled at the last minute due to the ambulances. Is it a dream for you to be part of Aberdeen's future big nights like Lee McAllister has been in the past?
Absolutely, I grew up seeing that, so it'd be silly and naive of me not to believe that backing is there, that the people are there. It's just a matter of fact of, you know, giving them the opportunity to really come out and say, hey, like this guy, he's been around. And, you know, unfortunately I didn't have the big household name as they did, without even stepping into the box ring. McCastle's already had a household name and stepping into the box ring and just amplified that. Unfortunately I didn't have that, so now I have to sort of go away and come back. Go and build that name and come back. And I'm sure they'll come out and show the support when the time comes.
Of course, and it's a very competitive division you're in Scotland, super middleweight.
Yeah, it's a competitive division around the world. It's a fantastic division throughout the years, so I'm excited to be at his weight.
Is there anyone in particular in Scotland you identify as a target or someone you would like to fight? Potentially someone like Tommy Philbin that's got a belt, like the Celtic title, for example?
I mean, these guys are naturally, you have to. I think naturally with these guys, when they have these belts and they're at that level where they've been there and they've done it. And Tommy's done a few 12-rounders, or a few 10-rounders. So he's a guy that's experienced in the ring and been there and done it, gone and got out the title. So of course, the natural step is to go and fight these guys. And if you can't get those home fights, because people want to see these home fights as well, and you want to build the Scotland super middleweight, just Scotland boxing in general. So why not put these fights together? But you know the way the boxing world works, regardless if it's in Scotland or it's over in the USA or over in England, it's always going to be, there's politics to it, and when it comes, it comes.
Yeah, and there was legendary fights at this weight, as you know, years gone by with Eubank and Ben, etc.
Absolutely.
Who was your inspiration in terms of maybe your favourite fighters, for example, growing up?
Roy Jones Jr., that's one of my favourites right there. Floyd, one of my favourites. Nassim was one of my favourites. I think just because Nassim had the power, Nassim was arrogant, and he backed it up. He backed it up when Nassim went into the ring and he beat who was put in front of him, until obviously he bumped into the big boy and struggled a little bit. But you know, I like the way Nassim carried himself in terms of the confidence he had in the ring, and I think a lot of times he'd beat guys that without even fighting him because of that arrogance and the confidence, and he had the power to back it up as well, especially at his weight. So, that's kind of the three main guys that I watched all the time. And
the rest of the year, I know you've got an upcoming fight. What's your aspirations by the end of the year? Do you want to be challenging for titles, or do you think that's more 2020?
I think 2020 is when the title opportunities are going to come. The aim is just to finish the year strong, stay injury free, keep the record with it all at the end of it, and then move on to the next year going in with sitting in a better position. Because right now I'm 4 fights, and hopefully I can end the year with 8 fights. And when you go into that 8-fight range, then now we're okay, you know what, it makes sense. It makes sense to now step up to that sort of title level, especially if you've gone in and proven yourself in the ring, where we're 4-0 at the moment, not completed the second round. And if we keep going up down the line of, you know, keeping that on, winning these fights convincingly, then there's no reason why I should stay at this level.
Yeah. Boris, that's it. I want to thank you for taking the time to speak to us, and all the best for the 17th, and I'm sure I'll be speaking to you again soon. Awesome. Thanks very much. Cheers.